What would happen to someone in the military if they started a bar brawl with other service members? This happened when my buddy Private Torres decided to pick a fight with what he thought were some cocky Marines, and the consequences were absolutely ridiculous. We were at this dive bar off base in North Carolina, just trying to blow off steam after a long week of training. Torres had been drinking and was feeling overly confident about his fighting skills. These four guys in civilian clothes were at the next table talking loud and acting tough. Torres was convinced they were Marines from Camp Lejeune trying to show off in front of some local girls. "I'm tired of these jarheads thinking they own every bar," Torres announced, loud enough for them to hear. "Someone needs to put them in their place." I tried to talk him out of it, but Torres was already walking over to their table. He tapped the biggest guy on the shoulder and said, "You Marines think you're so tough? Let's see what you got." The guy looked confused and said, We're not Marines, dude." Torres laughed and said, "Right, and I'm not Army. You guys are obviously military." That's when the bouncer, a former Marine himself, walked over and recognized the four guys Torres was trying to fight. He started laughing so hard he could barely speak. "Torres, you idiot," the bouncer said. "Those aren't Marines. That's the Johnson brothers. They're farmers from down the road who've never been in the military a day in their lives." The biggest Johnson brother stood up. He was about 6'5" and looked like he wrestled cattle for a living. "Son, we're just having some beers after working on the farm all day." But Torres was too drunk and proud to back down. He threw a wild punch that missed completely and crashed into their table, sending drinks flying everywhere. What happened next was the shortest bar fight in history. The Johnson brothers didn't even fight back. They just restrained Torres like he was an angry toddler having a tantrum. The bouncer called the MPs, and within 20 minutes, Torres was in handcuffs being loaded into a military police vehicle. The consequences started immediately. Torres got charged with disorderly conduct, destruction of property, and bringing discredit upon the armed forces. His commanding officer made him personally apologize to each of the Johnson brothers and pay for their drinks, plus damages to the bar. But the real punishment was the extra duty. Torres spent the next month pulling every terrible detail on base. Kitchen duty, latrine cleaning, trash pickup, 18-hour days while the rest of us had normal schedules. The story spread throughout the entire base. Everyone knew Torres as the guy who tried to fight some farmers because he thought they were Marines. 6 months later, Torres got demoted back to private, lost 2 weeks of pay, and served 45 days extra duty. Sometimes the punishment fits the stupidity perfectly.